Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. The San Francisco 49ers have now won 9 straight football games, and today Brock Purdy became just the 5th rookie quarterback of all time to win his first 4 starts. It's the first time since 2004. And while the game was not perfect, it definitely wasn't pretty. A win is a win. I feel like he took a big step in his development, coming from behind, learning from your mistakes, making the proper tweaks, making the proper adjustments after a couple of forced balls, a couple of miscues. Great game. Win is a win, man. A win is a win. 12-4, headed into the final week. This offense has not missed a beat, losing Deebo Samuel. Deebo, I think he'll be back next week. He's going to be so money for this team. As we all know, Deebo Samuel is a phenomenal wide receiver, phenomenal talent. But they're still getting the job done without one of their best playmakers. So, I'm loving what I'm seeing. If you guys enjoy this video, you want more Niners content, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button. I would love to hear from you guys down below. Thoughts on today's game against Las Vegas. A great rivalry, and it was a great football game. It certainly was entertaining, and it just, man, we'll talk about all of it. But guys, I hope we all have a great 2023. If we could get this video to 1,000 likes to start off the new year, that would be absolutely awesome. But most importantly, I want to read your opinions, read your thoughts down below in the comment section. So let's start it off with this offense because, it wasn't perfect, and it certainly wasn't pretty. But Brock finished the day 22-35, 284 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. There was that interception. But I loved the composure he held, made those mistakes, fixed those mistakes, got the ball in the hands of his playmakers, stopped forcing stuff, and let the game come to you. It was a great comeback win. I think that is something that you really needed. I would love seeing that right before the playoffs. Just get more reps, get more experience under your belt headed into these playoffs, because San Francisco winning 9 straight, for some reason, it still isn't really being talked about across the league. As crazy as it's been, as crazy talented as Brock Purdy looks, the 3rd string quarterback, they're still not getting that much praise. All right, they're getting a lot of praise, but they're still, what about Philly? What about Dallas? Can Brock Purdy go on the road and get those wins? That remains to be seen. But a great road win today. He has that great road win against Seattle. CMC has been a huge reason for all of this success. Just another playmaker, another thing to have to your already explosive offense. He finished with 19 carries, 121 yards, and a touchdown, including a 37-yarder. Did have 6 catches, 72 yards. So just a phenomenal game. Almost 200 combined yards for CMC today. The man is a stud. Absolute stud. I was a little bit surprised to see Jordan Mason only get 2 carries today. I know Elijah Mitchell would be coming back, and I think that adds another element to this offense. Jordan Mason, though, he got a huge touchdown at the end of the game in regulation. It was his first touchdown of his career. So, love to see it. Jordan Mason, another enticing young player on this explosive offense. Now, moving into the receiver room, this is where it gets a little interesting for me, because I know the addition of Deebo is going to be, once again, we know Deebo is so good. The man is a stud. He is one crazy playmaker, and he can change the game on a whim. Brandon Aiyuk, to me, one of the most, if not the most, under-recognized, underrated wide receivers in the entire National Football League. We didn't see too much of him in the first couple of games from Brock Purdy. We've been seeing it a lot more as the games progress. 9 catches, 101 yards, and a touchdown. You could tell he was a go-to guy. He was a reliable piece. We know that about Brandon Aiyuk, but it's nice to see that connection finally reach that next level, take that next jump with Brock Purdy and Brandon Aiyuk. Now, George Kittle, don't want to say he struggled, did have a touchdown catch. If he had one more, he would have became just the first tight end in NFL history to have two touchdowns in 3 straight games. But 4 catches, 23 yards, and a touchdown. CMC chipped in with those 6 catches, 72 yards. We also saw Juwan Jennings, so a nice piece, 2 catches, 46 yards. Ray McLeod, back-to-back weeks, big plays. Today it was a 42-yard catch. These are momentum changers. This can change games. So it's just nice to see all these threats on the offensive end still distributing the ball, and Deebo's not back. It makes me feel so good to see Deebo Samuel suited up next week, and hopefully Elijah Mitchell as well. Now, some guys did go down. Doesn't seem to be too serious. We will learn about Dre Greenlaw's back injury tomorrow. The defense, Bosa kind of said this after the game. Maybe we discredited them or overlooked them a little bit. Back up, Jarrett Stidham making the start today. He had a great game. At the end of the day, San Francisco's defense stepped up in overtime when they needed to step up with Gibson's pick six, or almost pick six to finish the game. Then Robbie sinking that field goal, which I was a little nervous. It was a little shaky. Robbie was a little shaky today, but still made that kick. Set up by Nick Bosa, final play of the game, and the interception by Deshaun Gibson. So, Fred Warner, Hufanga, Greenlaw, Jimmy Ward, Charvarius Ward, Eric Armstead. We've talked about it time and time again. There are so many forces, there are so many threats on this defense, but it's nice to see a game where defensively, when you're struggling, you're giving up points, can't necessarily buy a stop. It's nice to see a come-from-behind win from the composed it-factor quarterback in Brock Purdy. So, for San Francisco right now, I'm focused. I mean, seeding's a big deal. I'm focused on just getting that win next week. Let everything else come, right? You can only focus. You can only handle what's on in front of you. And a game against Arizona should be able to get that job done. But Minnesota, man, they're faltering. They got blown out by my Green Bay Packers today, which was a great win by the Packers. I enjoyed that very thoroughly. But Minnesota doesn't look great. Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts is injured. Anything can happen, all right? I'm not worried about Brock Purdy on the road in the playoffs at all, actually. I think he can definitely win these big-time games, showing me a lot. I know the Raiders don't have the best defense in the world, but it's a rivalry game. Everyone's got they have everything on the line, man. These guys are fighting for jobs. They're fighting for contracts. They want to end the season on a high note. This game just means more to all these players, right? It's just a rivalry game. Great football. Classic football. So, I know Brock Purdy can win these road playoff games, but I would love if they could at least get that 2 seed, just so you only have to possibly do one. Like I said, and I say this in almost every Niner video I make, I really think Philly's losing that first playoff game they get in. So if the 1 seed goes down, if it is Philly, I mean, San Francisco might, if they get the 2 seed, they might not even have to play a road game. So that does go a long way. I don't think home field advantage is as prevalent as it was maybe 20 years ago or so, or even 10 years ago, but it is a factor, especially with young rookie quarterbacks. It's better to be safe than sorry and have that home field advantage. So if you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content and more Niners videos several times a week. But most importantly, guys, I want to hear your thoughts on today's gritty, grindy game today against the Las Vegas Raiders, and I will never end a video using those words again. Don't worry, but peace.